Hey guys, welcome back to another one of my videos. If you're new here, my name is Kim and this is my channel. And on this channel I basically have like super random stuff, some vlogs, some DIY videos, and yeah, I need to be more consistent, so I will try to be more consistent. But yeah, so by the title of this video, obviously I'm going to be talking about my breast augmentation and my experience with breastfeeding. So I'm going to give you a little background story on my surgery, and also I do want to do a disclaimer and say that I am no way a professional or a lactation consultant. I'm just going to be talking about my personal experience, and I want you guys to know that just because this was my personal experience, it might not be the same for you because every woman's body is different. So yeah, I think that's all I had to say, so let's get into this video. I'm gonna start off by telling you guys that I got my breast augmentation surgery on June 1st of 2016, and on June 28th of 2016 I found out I was pregnant. So it all happened in 1 month. Obviously I would not have gotten the surgery if I knew I was pregnant, or I knew I was going to be pregnant. So we didn't purposely do it like that. I would not have wanted to harm my child in any type of way. So yeah, I had my breast augmentation surgery on June 1st 2016, and when I found out I was pregnant, I was freaking out because I didn't know how everything was gonna play out, because I had just had surgery and now I was pregnant. But anyways, I'm going to be talking about some details on my surgery. So I did get a breast augmentation, and I did talk to the doctor about breastfeeding in the future, and he said that it would be possible to breastfeed in the future. The reason why is because I got saline implants and I got them put under my muscle. So when they're put under the muscle, they don't mess with anything in the front. And also I got my incision under my breast, so it didn't mess with any part of the areola or nerves or anything like that, compared to if I would have gotten like the areola incision. So yeah, that was one of the things I asked for. I wanted to be able to breastfeed in the future. I didn't go back there because I came back home after my surgery. I had like a follow-up and I went to that, and then like I think a couple of months later I was supposed to go back, maybe 6 months later, to like get another follow-up, but I didn't go because I was back home already. So I think he would have freaked out seeing me pregnant. But anyways, that's not the point of this video. I did ask you guys to leave me any questions if you guys had any questions for me, and like the one question I got a lot was, where did I get my breast augmentation surgery? I think a lot of people think I got it here at home in Brownsville, Texas. I didn't. I actually got it in Gulfport, Mississippi, which is where we live, where we're stationed. If you guys want details on the doctor, you guys can message me on Instagram and I'll tell you more about it. But he wasn't a shady doctor, it's just that the way he spoke was very low, and I don't know, the surgery went great. I haven't had any problems with my breast augmentation surgery. I haven't had anything to complain about, so I don't want to, like, I don't know. But if you guys want the information, just message me. But yeah, I got my breast augmentation surgery, and it was $3,300. A lot of people were asking me that, and they were that price because I got saline at my age. I got it at 19 years old. I couldn't get silicone, which I didn't want silicone because saline is safer anyways. If it ruptures, your body just disposes of the saline. It doesn't like mess you up, if that makes sense. So I did get saline implants under the muscle. Yeah. Another question that I did get was, is it painful to breastfeed with breast implants? And no, it's not painful to breastfeed with implants. It was very painful in the beginning, because if you breastfeed, or if you will breastfeed, you'll find out that in the beginning it's really hard. You don't really know what's happening, your baby doesn't know what's happening, you're trying to figure it out. You get nipple sores, you get all these things, and it's just so painful to breastfeed. But that's just like the norm of breastfeeding. It's not because of my implants, so my implants did not get in the way of that at all. When I had my baby, I had her on a Saturday, and the lactation consultant was not there. The lactation consultant is only there from Mondays to Fridays in the hospital that I was at. So on Monday I was gonna get released from the hospital, so I asked to talk to a lactation consultant because I was having a really hard time latching my baby on. So she came in, and obviously I told her like, hey, you know what, I know my colostrum's coming out, I know like my baby's eating, but I have questions. Like, I just got my implants 9 months ago, you know, like, is this gonna be like, is it gonna work? Am I gonna be able to breastfeed, keep breastfeeding? She's like, of course, if she's eating right now and you're producing, that means it's gonna keep happening. And I was like, okay, awesome. So she basically helped me out, and she did say that it's way better to get it under the muscle, implant under the muscle, which I did, because it doesn't mess with anything at the front, which is true. Someone also asked if it was more difficult to breastfeed with implants than without. I can't really answer that because this was my first pregnancy and my first baby, so I haven't breastfed before. But with my experience, it didn't hurt because it just hurt in the beginning, like I said. So the beginning of breastfeeding is so painful, and I just want you guys to know that, like, if you're planning on breastfeeding, you have to be mentally and physically prepared for that pain. I sobbed, I cried because it hurt so bad. When my baby would latch on, I had sore nipples because she hadn't latched on properly in the beginning. So I would like shake and tremble of all the pain, but I stuck through it and just stick through it. I know it's super duper duper hard, but just stick through it, because look at us now. We're 6 months strong, and I'm planning on going to a year of breastfeeding. So yeah, just stick through it. I know it's super painful in the beginning, but it has nothing to do with implants. Another question asking me whether or not the implants made my pregnancy harder, and honestly no. Like, my pregnancy went like normal. I didn't have any issues. I did have some like leakage really early on, like around, I don't even know, it was really early on, maybe like 4 or 5 months. I had leakage, and I was like, why do I have leakage? But I was excited because I knew that if something was coming out, that meant that maybe my milk would end up coming in when I had my baby, which it did. So my implants did not mess with my milk, but I do have to say, I do myself believe that the implants play a part on my supply. I feel like if I didn't have implants, I would make more milk. Right now, I've always made enough for my baby. I've never had to resort to formula because she's always satisfied with my milk. I only gave her formula one time. That was at the hospital. That was the biggest mistake ever, because do not listen to the nurses or doctors or whatever they say, because my baby was sleeping, and it had been like 6 hours since she had eaten, and they were like, you have to wake her up and feed her like now. And she obviously woke up mad because she was sleeping and she wouldn't latch on, and I was getting frustrated. It was the middle of the night, and they're like, well, she needs to eat, she hasn't eaten. So I gave her like that little formula bottle. I gave her a very little amount, and she fell asleep again. And then she woke up crying and crying and crying, like her stomach hurt so bad, and I felt so bad. So she had a little bit of formula, and it was the worst thing ever, and I regret doing that, but whatever. Don't listen to the friggin' doctors. Your baby will feed when the baby needs to eat. But anyways, I also want to point out that I obviously got pregnant and had my surgery in the same month, and I feel that that played a big part on my breast appearance, whatever, stretch marks. Before my surgery, I had nothing, so I went from nothing to something, and I think I went from something to nothing to being pregnant. So they enlarged so fast that I got stretch marks like all over my entire breast. So I think that played a part, the fact that I was pregnant, because they got larger than they were supposed to, and then they came back to what they're supposed to. And right now I'm breastfeeding, so it's in and out, and I'm kind of waiting to pass my year mark of breastfeeding to find out what my actual size is, because right now I'm like in and out of sizes. But yeah, I do want to say that I went from a 32A to like a, right now I'm like a double triple D according to Adore Me, or I don't fit into a pink bra, like a Victoria's Secret pink bra. I don't fit into a C or D. What's their biggest size? Whatever their biggest size is, I went in and it didn't fit. So yeah, I do want to say that I am excited to get to my 1 year mark and find out what my actual breast size is, because at this point I have no idea. But yeah, if you guys want like a more detailed story about my breast augmentation surgery, then just tell me down below and I'll do that for you guys. Or if you guys have any questions, leave them down below and I'll answer them myself. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and if you guys have any questions, oh, I also wanted to make this video because when I was looking into doing research on getting my breast augmentation, I looked this up. I wanted to know whether or not I could breastfeed with breast implants, and I found like nothing. So I wanted to make this video because I want you guys to know that for me it was possible. Doesn't mean that for sure it will be possible for you, but for me it was. And the only other video that I found that was helpful was Kathleen Light's sister Ilette, and I'll link her video down below. That was the only video that I found about breastfeeding with breast implants. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.